Welcome back. Cheektowaga Supervisor has waved the warning flag about the town's finances. It's all in an effort to avoid a major crisis for the town.
But taxpayers may have to cough up more cash to keep the services they enjoy. Supervisor Brian Nowak joins us now. Brian, it is a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
So first, give us a little update since the last time we've seen you. What does the town's current budget picture look like?
We're still early in the 2026 budget year. We're closing out 2024, and the reason I want to have this discussion so early is because we need to get some input from the public and from our town board members just to get an idea of what they want to see. You know, the public expects the services that the town provides. The town's in the business of providing services. Our town board, we've got a lot of common ground, some differences of opinion on what we want to see and what we want to do for the public. And we just need some time to work out the details. That it's, are we looking at service cuts this year? Are we looking at changing the way we do things? Are we looking at putting some of our needs down the road a little bit? We have to have those conversations sooner rather than later.
And a tax increase potentially. Could you maybe explain a little bit more details in that in terms of how much more people could end up paying, and businesses too? Sure.
I'm sure the folks watching have seen that other villages, towns, cities have been in the news, whether it's the city of Buffalo, Village of Kenmore, town of Tonawanda have been among those lately that have had to exceed their tax cap because of growing cost. You know, in the town of Cheektowaga, we've got 5 public sector unions. We are pretty much there with an agreement with our largest union, and we're looking at wage increases of 3.25%. More than 2/3 of the town's budget goes to wages, pensions, benefits, and all that. So that alone is going to get us to where we are in terms of the tax cap. Then we have needs in terms of improving our buildings. We have some needs in terms of heavy equipment. The cost of fuel, you know, cost of salt, other things that come through the town that, in addition to wages, we're looking at some sense of increasing that tax cap in order to continue providing the services that the public has come to expect.
You mentioned talks with unions, one being one of the town's biggest unions. How have those discussions been going?
They've been fruitful as of late, but obviously you get management and labor. There's some differences of opinion on those things. We found common ground after a number of long discussions. So I'm relatively happy with where we're at on that, and you know, we were in a high inflation environment, so there's a lot of understanding from my end of what the union was looking for in certain areas. And you know, we had some issues between management and labor that had to be worked out. Largely all of those issues are settled as well, so I'm hoping whether it's the end of this month or in the beginning of April, we're going to, as the union finishes its ratification process, the town board is going to approve a contract with our blue collar and white collar workers.
Any lingering issues with the migrant situation, or is all that passed?
Those issues are settled as far as the town is concerned.
So something you've been doing a number of times now, you have your town hall meetings. There's one coming up next week. Before we talk about the details of that, how have those been going? How is that partnership with residents in the town? What, have they been useful, these talks?
I think they're extremely fruitful. You know, I'd love to see more people show up to them, obviously, but we get a decent sized group. We have a good back and forth. There's questions about how the town operates, the issues that residents have, and that gives me an opportunity to go into quality discussion about my perspective on things, answering their questions, getting them connected to resources to help answer their questions. And you know, the town hall that is going to be at Cheektowaga Central High School next Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. is going to be another opportunity for those.
What about road construction projects? We know around here the potholes are horrible.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's probably the same in Cheektowaga.
Well, that's one of the things our board has to make decisions about this year, and it's going to impact our cost as well. Whether it's debt service or the use of limited cash reserves that we have left, what are we going to do in terms of a road paving program? Are we going to take care of any drainage needs? We've got some other infrastructure needs. We have a DEC consent order that we have to finance and cover the cost for as well. So that is, in addition to the budget itself, those decisions come into what we're looking at in terms of tax obligations, the tax increase for next year.
All right, Brian, one last time before we let you go, give us all the details for the town hall meeting next week.
Thursday, March 13th. It's going to be at Cheektowaga Central High School from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. After a brief introduction from me, we're going to have our highway superintendent, I believe County Comptroller Kevin Hardwick is going to be there as well. It's an opportunity for the public to show up, ask questions, get contact information for their elected officials, and just have quality discussion with the people that they elect to work for them.
All right, Cheektowaga Town Supervisor Brian Nowak, thank you for stopping on by, as always.